Alright, so today I want to talk a little bit about an Outdoor Edge Razor Lite EDC. This is a replaceable blade knife, great for hunting, or even just, as the name applies with EDC, could be just an everyday carry knife. So I've actually been considering one of these for hunting. I generally carry a fixed blade knife or two. This one's a Spyderco. I ended up buying this from one of their second sales. It's not actually a seconds knife, it was just discontinued and for sale during the second sale that they do at their factory in Golden. And I like the idea of the fixed blade knife. I like the durability, the strength. But when you are skinning an animal, one, I like to carry a couple of these so that I have a sharp blade without sharpening. So I end up carrying at least two of these that add some weight. They definitely get stuff down in the pack more often than not, because I don't necessarily need them out and available until I'm actually skinning or cleaning an animal. And then they also end up basically not serving the place of a pocket knife. And I found a lot of times while hunting I was carrying a pocket knife in addition. Typical pocket knife, I was carrying another Spyderco with a ball lock, fairly heavy knife. So looking into these replaceable blade knives, I was thinking of something that could serve dual purpose, both as a skinning and animal cleaning knife, especially since we tend to go the gutless method and debone our animals. But then I also wanted something that would take the place of a pocket knife, and something that I could wear the entire trip and that I could replace, and something that I could get to a razor sharp edge in a matter of seconds and not have to worry about sharpening. So I looked at a couple different models. I like this Outdoor Edge Razor Lite EDC. They're pretty inexpensive. I even happened to get this one about $5 less. Cabela's was running a sale one of the times I was there looking for some boots for hunting, and I decided to go ahead and pick it up. With the knife came some of the replacement blades. What I like about these is they came in a little clear plastic pouch to keep them together, but then they're actually individually sealed and they have a plastic protector along them. So when I replace them in the field, you can open it up, you know it's clean, but then the little plastic protector that's on it you can use to protect the old blade, and you're not just putting a razor sharp blade into your pack. You've got a little more security. Another thing I really like with this version, I've heard mixed reviews on some of the other brands that are out there as far as the ease of replacing the blades. I've heard people talk about needing pliers, especially once the blade gets dirty. This one has a very easy push button on the side, and then the blade comes loose, and then to go back in it just slides right in and clicks into place. I've noticed so far this last season I ended up using it to debone 2 small mule deer bucks and a cow elk, and I noticed each of these blades was good for about half of the cow elk. I ended up splitting it. My dad deboned about half of it and I deboned half, and one blade worked just about right. Towards the end I could have replaced it and it wouldn't have been a bad idea, but it was still working. And then same with the deer. They were pretty small mule deer bucks, so one blade was sufficient, but again 2 blades would have helped you to make sure that it was plenty sharp throughout the entire process. Even in the middle of getting it dirty, covered in blood, it still pops right on and off. The only time I noticed having a hard time getting the blade out was I tried to use a water bottle to kind of clean off the blade when I was in the field, but there was still some blood and tissue along the edges of it, and by the time I got home and it had dried out, I had some difficulty getting the blade off. I had to actually let it soak in water a little bit. But in general, in the field, you're not going to have an issue. You're going to be able to get it in and out as needed. So that sharp blade is great not only for processing an animal like that, but it also works really well when you're just using it for everyday carry. Now, I still like to carry the Spyderco for every day, but this is very lightweight, tends to go with me more on hikes and when I'm traveling a little bit further. Another thing, these blades are thick enough, they're heavy enough that you can actually sharpen them. So something I have done is, for more the everyday hiking use, I'll actually take one of the blades I've used on an animal and clean it up and go ahead and resharpen it. I don't think I have gotten them quite as sharp as they come from the factory, but plenty sharp compared to how sharp I can normally get any of the pocket knives that I use. So that is the Razor Lite EDC. It's my first foray into the replaceable blade knives, especially for hunting, and then even not quite everyday carry for me, but when I'm out in the woods and when I need to be a little lighter weight, I've been enjoying it so far. And it's very lightweight, yet feels very sturdy in your hand. So I'm enjoying this knife. I'm definitely going to continue taking that as my hunting knife. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have personal experience with this knife or you have your own preferred replaceable blade knife, let me know. I wouldn't be opposed to trying a couple more out. Otherwise, thanks for watching.